you guys, this is going to be a walkthrough and a tutorial for the Midnight Kiss little brag book that I made. It's like a little folio, and rather than doing it as New Year's Eve, I'm going to make like a prom brag book. The Midnight Kiss collection is exclusive to Country Craft Creations, and so you can pick it up at the store there. It's an online store. And not only did I use the Midnight Kiss from Country Craft Creations, I also used their black Artisan cardstock. If you have not tried that, once you do try it, you will never go back to regular. And I also picked up some of these acrylic droplets. This is the amber color, and it looked good with this paper because there was kind of like a hint of gold. Okay, so those are the main things. I always use art glitter glue. That's from Country Craft Creations. You can pick up some seam binding. If you haven't taken a look at their online store, please do so. So this is the project that we're going to make. It's a quick and easy. When I say a brag book, I was thinking of like a baby brag book. You know, it's something you can carry along with you and just kind of have it to pull out and show people real quick if you carry a backpack or a larger purse or whatever. So this book measures 6 by 6. Here are those droplets that I was talking about, those amber droplets. There are little gold dots on this paper, on the balloon and the streamer paper, so wherever there was a dot, I put an amber droplet. These are fabric bows that I already had, and I cut out the word prom, and I had 2 different types of trim. I have this pink tassel, and then I put a darker pink on top of it. So this is from my stash, the ribbon or the trim. Okay, the back I just left plain. You'll notice I matted to kind of, if it's a prom book, I was assuming it would be maybe for like a girl, and so I added a little bit more pink. This is the pink from Country Craft Creations. It's this shimmer type paper, and it's really pretty. So let's take a look on the inside. Now it does get a little bit, I'll say bulky, but not really bulky. It just is really, I'll show you. If you look from the top, this is a 1/2 inch on each side, a 1/2 inch gusset, and it is exactly right. You don't want to go any smaller, that's for sure. Okay, so on the left hand side, this collection comes with some pockets that you can cut out and use. They're already made for you. You just have to do the cutting and the scoring. And then I just used the black Artisan, used a corner punch to make it look like a ticket. This was a cutout from the collection. I just cut off New Year's Eve at the top. Okay, and then I just put a little fussy cut the man with the old-fashioned car. This one I wanted to look more like the cover, so there's a pink background then, and you have the Midnight Kiss paper. This is open, so you can tuck something underneath of it. This is a page you don't want to add a lot of bulk to, because when you close it, you want your book to lay flat. So if you have something there, it might make it stand up, and you don't want that. And then on the other right-hand side, I tried to mimic that. This time I just added some of the paper. I left the back plain, and then I cut out one of those little hats with the horn. I thought that was cute. So in the center here, I have a cut apart. I left it open so you can slide in a picture. So that's that pink sheen sheer paper. Then you open it, and you have another one here. This is from the collection. I just cut around that, left it open, and then this would be for a picture. And then this side opens. So you have these little 3-inch flaps. So I use the corners from the collection. You can cut out and leave them open and stick something underneath, or you can just leave it this way and make it decoration, or add like if you had a ticket or something from the dance, or you could glue that on there, whatevs. This is for pictures also, so I didn't add a lot of embellishments, because again, when it's closed, you don't want it to keep this door open. You want it to lay flat. This one has a pocket. It's again a 3-inch flap, and I just left the back plain. And then the other side is a mirror image of that. So here is that pocket. Here's the 3-inch flap. And then a lot of people have those small printers now that print 2 by 3 pictures, so I thought that would be perfect. All right, and then this opens, and then this is a pocket, and I did put a thumb hole here, and then you can place a mat on the inside for one of the pictures. Alrighty, so this is super easy to make. I'll go through the directions with you, and it won't take you long at all. And there you go. All right, so let's take a look at what you're going to need. You're going to need 2 pieces that are 6 by 6 and 4 pieces that are 6 by 12. That's it. We'll do a little bit of scoring. There is no scoring on the 6 by 6 pieces, so you're going to leave those exactly like they are. Now this is not Artisan cardstock. From my tutorial, I'm just doing a quick sample that I'm not going to decorate, so I'm using a lighter weight paper. So if you use Artisan, it's a little bit sturdier, and it's going to be very, even though there's no chipboard that we use, because we're using Artisan and covering it with the paper collection, it does get very firm, and it's not floppy. You don't need the chipboard though. All right, so leave your 6 by 6 pieces. We're going to do a little bit of scoring on the 6 by 12s. So you're going to grab 3 of those 6 by 12 pieces, and on your scoreboard, place the 12 inches across the top, and you're going to score at 3 and at 9. And you do that on all 3 pieces. So you're placing the 12 inches across the top, score at 3 and at 9, and then here's the third one where I did the same thing. You do want to burnish those, so burnish the score marks at 3 and 9 so that they all are like so. Okay, that's all the scoring for that. There is a 4th 6 by 12. You place the 12 inches across the top. You're going to do, this is where you get your gussets. So you're going to score at 2.5 and at 3, and then at 9 and 9.5. I'll say it one more time. 2.5 and 3 and 9 and 9.5. And then you do want to go ahead and burnish those also. And I have already done that. Okay, so now we're going to do the gluing. Now the first one that I'm going to glue are the 6 by 6 pieces. Okay, now when you glue this on, you can either glue it on top of the 2.5 inch piece that's right here, or you can glue it on the other side. It doesn't matter. I'm going to go ahead and I think I'm going to glue mine so that I'm going to turn this upside down, and this is going to be the outside of my book, and I'm going to glue this right here, and you bump it up against that score mark, but you don't go over. So this is the back of my book, this is the inside, this is the outside. I'm going to take a 6 by 6, I'm going to place it on that 2.5 inch piece, and I'm going to glue it right on top of there, but you'll notice I still have that 1/2 inch gusset. Do not go over that. Okay, so I'm going to place glue on this part. And line it up without going over the score. And then you do want to burnish that to make sure it's going to stick together. And we're going to do the same on the other side. So you're going to take your other 6 by 6 piece. You're going to place it up against that score mark so that you still have that 1/2 inch gusset. So I'll place my glue on the flap part here. And let's line that up. And burnish it. So that's how you get your trifold. Now this will be covered, so even though you see that piece right there, that seam, you won't see that once we put our paper down. So now we're going to put our middle piece in. So you're going to grab one of your 6 by 12s. Now at this point you need to put a thumb hole You can use a punch. Let's see if I have something handy. I don't think I have my circle punch handy. I used my envelope punch board before. Let me see. So for the thumb hole, you can use your punch board if you don't have a circle punch. And this is 6 inches, the center. So at this score mark, this first one, you're going to line that up at the 3. And then punch, and then you have your little hole there to make it easier to take out the paper, the mat that you're going to put inside there. Now because this is a pocket, you're going to glue on 3 sides. So you're going to, this is the front, this is the back, you're going to glue in a U shape. So you put no glue on the edge that has the thumb hole. Okay, so we're putting it on 3 sides. I'm going to turn it upside down. Okay, so you can see where I put the glue, not at the top. Now I'm going to fold these 2 pieces in so it's easier to line up. I don't want to go over the score marks. So I'm going to line it up with the score and at the bottom here. I'm going to go over here. And burnish that down. So then when you open it, you'll be able to see that there's something tucked in there. Now the mat that I put inside is 5 inches across, and it's about it's a 5 by 5, I believe. Okay, you can't do the full 6 because there's glue over here, so that cuts down your space. So a 5 by 5 mat was inside. So we still have 2 pieces of 6 by 6 that we need to add. This is super easy. I say that and I gotta take a look here. Yeah, okay, so you're going to, the right hand side here, you're going to bump it up against the 3-inch piece, and we're going to glue those together, and that becomes a flap as one. Okay, so this, I'm looking at my paper like so. The flap on the right I glue to the flap right here. So I'm going to place glue on this part. And you want to line it up as close as possible. And then I'm just going to bring that up and make sure it's lined up. And then go ahead and burnish that together. And then this just stays open, it's a flap, okay? So we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So I'll move this over. Here's my other 6 by 12 piece. I have one flap on the right. The one that's on the left I'm going to attach to the 3-inch piece that's there. I'm going to glue that together. I've seen something similar to this one. It did not have a pocket in the center, so you can adjust this in different ways to make it useful for you. Alright, so I'm going to bump that up against that 3-inch piece. Make sure they're lined up. And burnish that. Alright, you guys, that's it. So then you'll go in and do your matting. So these go to the center, then each of these then goes into the center, and then this goes in and this goes in, and there's your little booklet. Now that's what it looks like before you have matted it. And again, this is thinner paper, so it's not as durable. But before you put your matting, I put seam binding or ribbon for closure. I put one here on the outside and I attach that with glue before I put my matting paper on. And then the other piece I put on that back, I put it here. So you'll have one on the back and one on the front, and then you can mat your paper. All right, that's it. Super easy. Now you can, like I said, go back and do some adjusting and changing if you want. You don't have much of a spine, so you got to be careful, but if you want to do a flap going up, let me show you. Let's see if I have any paper. So if you wanted, you could also have a flap that goes up. So to do that, this is 6 inches, so you're going to cut a 6 by 6.5. Let me do that real quick. Okay, so this is a 6 by 6.5 inch piece. You would place the 6.5 inches across the top of your scoreboard. Score at 1/2. You would want to miter the 1/2 inch ends. Then you're going to burnish that. And then you could just glue that right here so that you could also have a flap going up. So let me do that and I'll show you. So you'd place glue. I'd do 2 of these, one on each end. And I'm going to turn my booklet sideways so I can line it up better. And then you could do a decorative, oh, I didn't line that up very well. You could do corner rounders on the bottom here. You could do a punch that has like a scallop. And then, like I said, then you could be able to lift up and have more pictures. And that shouldn't make it too bulky. Maybe a little bit. And then you would want to do one more on this side. So you can adjust it as you like, but this is the final folio, and I'm calling it a prom brag book. Again, this is Midnight Kiss. It is found only at Country Craft Creations. And they have other supplies there too. They have a lot of embellishments and tools and dies now that they're carrying. So check them out. And if you have any questions, let me know. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. If you haven't subscribed, please do.